Today we're checking out a new Wibi level. I saw it the other day when I was installing other levels, a newly released Wibi level. In fact, there's a couple, but I picked this one as it seems the most like Unreal level. The others sounded sort of like tests. Wibi levels are always worth playing, I've found, and it's been a while since I played one, right? Muse Eyewitness by Wibi, in which social observations are taken. It sounds pretty weird, right? Muse and Eyewitness is a title, and normal, medium, environmental. Okay, a story level. Oh, we got some content warnings: gore, sexual themes, emotional abuse, misogyny, and animal abuse. Play me on 3x zoom. I am, but it's a weird thing to ask about. Okay, well, I asked about this level for my viewers, and several of them had been playing it, not finishing it, but they didn't warn me about anything, so that's a bit of a surprise. I have a feeling now then that's actually, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of text, isn't it? Juniper Green, eyewitness needed. What I'm about to do requires a witness, someone who observes the proceedings in great detail and can ruin my life on a whim thereafter. Photo or video expertise recommended, no vetting. First inquiry will be sent directions. What the fuck, has your account been hacked? Says Gustav Kartoffel. And Barry Goldman is having a barbecue. Social media and my chaos. Okay, so we go. We have a weird looking sprite here. Looks like a dude. Okay, the grass kills me. Weird pointy grass with a car on it. Odd level. Immediately, but let's see. That's Uni. Pleased to meet you. You're about to see me bore a man to death. That's how some of these levels go. We will engage in many uninteresting social gestures until his body or mind buckles. That's a bit mundane. I suppose you're disappointed. You probably hope to see a mysterious death cult or a gunfight on a train or the like. No guilt surely can be felt in how we merely treat others. A rare cursive moment. Got a bad feeling about this girl, Paul. That's not my name. I don't believe we've met. Ah, you gave her a fake name. Very wise. How exactly did you arrive on any of this? Alright, enough with the semantics. Hello, octo-leveling. We've united for the first time. Preserve the moment. That is going into my cringe compilation. Okay, so we're a photographer. Interesting. Custom enemies. Still, I have no idea what to think about this level. Let's keep going. Very grey for an environmental level, wouldn't you think? Sort of reminds me of like a Yoshi level. Okay, so the green poison stuff makes bubbles, and there was like a bubbly hint there. Bubbles below. You see that? How it's... Well, you don't see it now. There it is. Oh, I probably shouldn't have jumped down here, huh? Didn't realize my mistake. Some brown tones in the music. And she had her doubts, you know. Oh, we're on the other side of that? No. But after some settling in, I found myself leader of the pack like I told her. What really helped was focusing on work-life balance and solution-oriented thinking. Gives you the creeps. It's pretty creepy, yeah. A little straight flame. I guess it drives on acid, literally, yes. Uh-huh. And when you mix that with positive outlook, you've got a panacea. Why does the word come up in KS levels? Panacea for low productivity. It's a shame more people aren't aware how to really apply themselves. Oh, you. This would be a perfect situation to capture. The brutal boring is underway. Yes. And any reason you don't just want me to remain on standby? Christ, what do you take this for? Community theater, occasional dispersion is a crucial part of the boredom routine. Freedom softens. And less is more. If every part of if this were documented, people would suspect it to be staged. Then I could just refuse to leak all but a handful of curated pictures. Maybe you should have come up with this if you're so careful and deliberate. Ah, but you didn't. Sorry to say this, but what kind of schizo level is this? What provoked this sort of conversation? Nothing. We were just doing this all of a sudden. I'll get back into position, take the picture. So we're just like getting back to that screen over and over. That's the level. So you can take pictures of someone being bored to death by social interaction. Not sure what I expected to happen there. Paul, we're in grave danger, you and I. What do you think that smart talk was all about? It was to lower our guards. She basically said so herself. She's gonna mess me up, Paul. She's gonna hurt me, and she might hurt you. I still don't know you. How'd you get here? Sign up online, same as you. She made it sound so appealing, looking for conversation partner with high boredom threshold. Yeah, that's so appealing. Though I was dealing with an emo chick playing hard to get. Thought I was dealing with an emo chick playing hard to get. Been too long since I had one of those. Her post said no vetting, so I was sure she wasn't gonna judge me. I had a few reasons in mind for why we'd be meeting in a remote cave, but they all turned out wrong. Well, how about you? Why are you here? Honestly, I was bored. Everyone's living these secret lives. I like piecing them together from what they let slip. Is this true? Is this level based on reality? Because it feels to me like it's very divorced from reality. I thought this was some sort of cryptic spiritual event, something that's really mattered to her. It seemed like an intriguing display of genuinity waiting to be seen. Another piece in this big societal jigsaw that I don't expect to solve in my lifetime. Yeah. Well, Paul, sounds like we both gotta stop thinking with our you-know-what. Just keep your eyes peeled for a way out and take some good photos, whether she likes it or not. Yeah, I'll try that, thanks. Hey, I'm right, aren't I? Yes. Yes, you're very much right. Thank you very much. Very good. Very good. Very strange. Hello, let's photograph you. An absolutely stunning reservoir, truly. After seeing this thing, it begins to boggle you how anyone could dismiss the cave as a dull wasteland. I don't see anything. And your perspective is valid. Perspective, in fact, is the key factor in this whole operation. The wronging man can never report his own wrongs. A thief can never accurately tally the money he's stolen. You mean you're knowingly lying about seeing a reservoir? Let's relax on the rhetoric for a moment. I was talking about the reservoir way over there to the right. It might look like a pit, but if you squint your eyes... No, never mind, it's just a pit. I guess I lied. That's your cue. Yeah. So down there is death. She told me about the effect it's had on her own life. Her recent performance was full of subtle irony that nobody got. They just sat there all confused. After she walked off to no applause, she decided she'd stick around for the next act. A friend of hers. Nobody got this shtick either, so she watched the next few acts, all people she didn't personally know. They impressed her, but everyone else, nothing. Then hall, wax museum. Like the venue existed for people to sit there for hours on end and not get it. An audience of me. Yep. Like, what do you do with those sorts of people? Not the audience, I mean the performers. These people who are constantly trying to communicate with other people as loudly as possible, but can't. Do you put them in a box and wait until they eat each other? Were they normal people once? Dunno. The photograph sounds like when you start planting the bomb in the CS. Beep. Yeah, we were taking some photos, alright. Now what, is it a pachinko machine? Is there a pachinko KS level? Has VG done such a thing? This one is like injured. Obviously it's two different enemies, but they're still similar, and then they act differently and look a little different. That's impactful, I would say. This one is just dead. Oh man, look at them. That's actually really cool. You take different enemies, but you reskin them to look like just the same enemy, but in different stages of suffering. Is he like mourning this guy? No, okay, he keeps moving. He just sat still there for so long. I thought somehow it was like mourning that guy. Okay, are these teeth blood or something? Hello? They're so sweet! I know why they're spiked now. If anyone could just pick them up and break the skin and taste them and dig in and pick the nerves out and taste them, they'd be an extinct species. You know, on some islands where they have no predators, they actually don't have any spikes. Those subspecies really are endangered. They're a specialty to some millionaires. Speciality. I wouldn't eat those, they're too easy. I like pulling the spikes out and licking off the flesh that's still stuck to them. And the organs, the brain and the heart taste like nothing else in the world. But of course, surely a variety of cultures find them tasty when they need to make use of the whole animal. But do they eat it raw? I'd imagine not. You must have quite the immune system if you eat these raw all the time without getting sick. At least you're not eating their swampland cousins who exchange their spikes for poisonous flesh. You're boring. And you base your life only around what you eat. You stuff your face with. So yeah, you're a very exciting person. Never too old for peekaboos. Okay, visually it's looking a bit more interesting all of a sudden. And we got a power up and an out of bounds enemy. And some music. Oh. Messed up by the slopes. No saves in this level, huh? Only auto saves. Is this doable? Oh, that's cool. Huh. End of the line though. I'll just go down here. It was a pretty nasty split. And alongside all the grief he was giving her about his career, she found out he hit his dog one time. So I asked her if she'd ever heard of the McDonald Triad. Do you know of it? No. So there's these 3 factors, and exhibiting 2 or more of them is linked with violent behavior in adults. 1. Animal cruelty, 2. Pyromania, and 3. Persistent bedwetting past a given age. I wonder if that's true. Bedwetting seems out of place. Then I asked her if he ever felt a little too warm in bed. That cracked her up. Ha ha ha, yeah. There's no scientific basis in the McDonald Triad. By the way, it's bullshit. Okay. But is it actually a real theory? Why would they put bedwetting in there? Oh yeah, definitely slopes on screen transitions can lead to some wall swimming shenanigans for sure. Don't know what you're doing? Best to avoid having it right on the screen edge. Like this, right? Oh. Good sprite. I like it. Not that exact one, but when they are in that position, the risk is high. I don't know exactly the conditions needed for it to be actually be into Walsons. Ropes are a risk. You look tense, Paul. Did she say something to you? No, I just saw a dead spiky a while ago. It was in a really bad condition. My head's still spinning. That happens. So you've been taking photos, right? Yes. Better be good photos if you're going to warn people to stay away from her. I'm sure you've managed. You seem like a pretty clever guy. See for yourself. Why does it seem like there's a bright light shining on everything? Because these were all taken in a cave with the flash setting on. She doesn't even look malicious in most of them. It just looks like two people having a conversation. Because that's all it's fucking is. You should really work on your technique. Some guy with a smartphone could do better than this. Capturing people's essence is my entire career. I think I know what I'm doing. Really? What do you do for a living? I'm an up-and-coming fashion photographer. I also moonlight as an independent filmmaker. Specialize in avant-garde docudramas about living in a world that's lost its mind. Well, there's a problem, Paul. I bet whatever weird technique you use is great for telling a story. We're not trying to tell a story, we're trying to tell the truth. You best let me stick to gathering the evidence. If you break that, you're in for a world of hell. Okay, I've lost my camera. I remain my weird head though. Retain. Something's happening? Still a cutscene or the level break? What's happening? Hey, Paul. What was that? Just time passing, I guess. Why didn't you just get one of those nice rectangular cameras? Having a bunch of buttons and dials doesn't make you better at taking pictures, you know? That's my personal camera. I've had it since I was 11. I've never used anything else except at work. Whoever got it for you is an idiot. Then I got one of those $50 cameras from Best Buy when I was a kid, and it freaking works. No stupid color modes or exposure setting or any of that crap. Just raw photography. I mean, do you even know what half these knobs do? They're used when taking a variety of photos of a variety of subjects under a variety of conditions. No, but you know what to do. They're all quite well documented in the accompanying manual, which I've kept carefully preserved. What do they do? Oh, by the way, I had to delete some of your photos to make space for my own because of the 100 photo limit. There's no 100 photo limit. Oh, I'll be having that back. Every photo I took here gone. Thanks. I'm really sorry, dude. Damn. It's almost like this is a waste of time now. I'm sorry, I'm harsh. There were some rocks here? Forget it. I'm harsh on this level. Maybe people like this stuff? I don't understand what the point of this level is. Why you would sit down and make it? Warp shenanigans. Is this categorized as maze? No, environmental. Very environmental. Found them. Brags about how she's been working on it for 12 months. I tell her it's just like all her previous plays but with too many adverbs. Then she goes on the spiel about discipline and I feel like I'm stuck there for hours. Like I'd rather be set on fire than have to sit through that bullshit. Long story short, she blocks my number. It's unfair, really. I don't have anyone to bounce my nonsense off of anymore. That ought to be an enshrined right. What are you doing? Me? No, I was talking to a pink fuzzy thing with 6 mouths. Yes, you. Why are you just standing there? Ah, well, I was fumbling with my camera a bit, and it fell and broke. And I was able to put it back together, but I lost all the pictures. You lost the pictures, yes. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, at least you have the handiness to reassemble it. Most people would just sit there bewildered and then pay someone $500 to fix it. Not really self-advocates. Anyway, I guess the eyewitness account will have to be a touch more anecdotal. For fuck's sake. Alright, get back in position. Photo taken. Yeah, you're getting really freaked up now. I guess. Almost made it. Oh. Aggressive autosaving. What the hell is even going on? He is cool. I do like the idea of this, but yeah, it's kind of hard. Hi. Kate, start off. Don't pester me about it. I know I should become an organ donor to balance things out. They make the paperwork really boring and I start to second guess myself. Sorry if I said anything that offended you last time we met. Oh no, you didn't. I just thought it was kind of funny the way you were interacting with me. Not how you were, but that you were. It's like seeing a USB cable trying to plug itself into a power outlet over and over. But it does fit, doesn't it? It might, but it'll start an electrical fire that claims 30 lives and damage countless more. Say something, Mr. Lightning Winds. Was this power outlet designed anywhere in particular? Ah, God. Why are you talking to me anyway? You know better than that. I shouldn't I? I've had images burned into my head that will take a bit to forget. And I know exactly who did that. No, I mean, you know better than to stalk some monster for the spectacle of it. I never called you a monster. That was actually pretty good. Really cute. Good job. Now, there's something I need to get out of the way. Come here. Closer. Put this SD card in your camera. It has all the photos you'll need, but with a different volunteer. Then it's good. SD card of the last photographer in here, I'm guessing. Should we try some out of bounds somewhere? Like, he seems like a candidate. Oh, was it? I did not. A fish. Live fish. Left or right? I'm going in. Do you like the slopes? I would laugh and sing and play and fuck till she starts crash and kill us. Till the stars crash and kill us. What little was left of our tongues could only taste one another's flesh. Gross and burnt it was. And the sky was perfectly dark, and he said so, but I looked up anyway and saw the North Star. How he told me we'd never find our way again, and I could only feign a nod. So that's what she posted on her Instagram. Like I told you, she's got issues. Look, if you hate this woman so much, why do you keep talking about her? Why do you look at her social media? Ah, I see. I've bored you enough that you want to fight back. Understandable, but I must ask you to relax. It is crucial for me and everyone in the future who may benefit from my presence that right now, as much as possible, while I'm singled out and blamed as a particularly boring type of person who wants eyes glaze over, feel all that agony you're feeling toward me and feel it as intensely as possible so that when should you narrowly escape with your life, you can rave with weak breath how terribly uninteresting I was. Just to let it interfere. If it helps, think of the words as arbitrary daisy-chained tormented devices. This level like specifically made for me because I complain about dialogue. Oh, I don't turn off music. Toast. Yeah, you were worried I would not enjoy the music, but there was nothing else about this level you felt the need to warn me about? How's it going, Paul? Did you find anything useful? As a matter of fact, I have. I saw an awful thing on 8 spindly legs with concealed fangs and fearsome eyes. I saw it mutilate and disembowel innocent cave creatures just to toy with them. Told me to my face how it would pull out their spikes and eat flesh stuck to them. Really? A lot more? Capitals? Played cool, but it felt like I could have died in there. And do you know what it handed me? An SD card with photos of Juniper to replace the ones I lost. That thing was either owned by Juniper Green or, well, I don't want to sound ridiculous. Oh, yes, you do know what Caver is, right? I can't fault you, I only learned about them 4 years ago. I thought maybe you'd be more familiar with them since you're one of those artsy guys, but whatever. Just dialogue and weirdness? Yeah, but I've had a lot of that already. Are you saying there's that much left? They use holograms to look normal, but on or off, they're just people. Some of them get kinda intense, obviously, but I've scored a vegan caver once. It's real shitty of her to get up in your face about it when you weren't comfortable. But you aren't worried about how she cuts up animals in her spare time? No, you think the world's gonna run out of spikies? I'm worried about how she's a mean smug prig who acts like she's smarter than you all the time. You know what? I bet it is, Paul. She's scared of what she's doing, like my third ex actually. I tell her I want to swing. She asked if she can too. I told her yeah, of course. She makes a big deal of bringing in this total stud muffin, and I'm like, damn girl, you really scored. Then I wake up to a text from her saying I enabled her to be a slut and she's gonna warn people about me. It's crazy how many relationships I've had ruined just because the other person felt like being a prude. I've got enough issues on my own, and now I have to nurse you through your stupid complex G's. And in a way, Paul, like man to man, my mom was like that, just blaming shit on me for no reason. Can't help but think maybe your problems stem from being a lumbering heap of manhood concentrate. Though I don't want to interfere with your character too much, call it prime directive perhaps. Mental illness, man. Come on, you and the nutcase are walking epitaphs for society. There's a spectacle to all this. You know, I asked last stream about this level. You could have said, you know, you're walking from dialogue to dialogue. You could have said that then. Everyone was so quiet then. Luckily, recording the spectacle is a way of averting the future it entails. I wasn't gonna tell you all that and risk you shutting me out. Letting you have the camera was enough of a gamble already. That's perfectly good observation material for my next satire gun. There is at least a hilarious naivete in your attempts at framing a shot. You're talking in tongues, Paul. She must have really shaken you up. You should take a walk. Okay, well, if that's the case and you're intrigued by the story so far, then I perhaps would suggest that no one recommended it. No one recommended it. I kept asking because I wanted to play it. I was intrigued by a Wibi level. I asked people if they knew anything about it, and they said that it was like a normal level. This is definitely what I would call a normal level, huh? Greetings again. I take you to receive some photos from my ravenous, clumsy, exotic pet who can speak perfect English. So you're a caver. It was worth a shot. You could use such a term as caver, yes, but I don't appreciate being chained to stick beasts like that. For me, it was a coincidental result following a series of optimizations, night visions to save on electricity bills, 2 more eyes for enhanced judgment, a stronger stomach, and sharpened scissors to save on meat and utensils, the works. The results turn out unsightly, but each step involved is perfectly rational. Thankfully, for such purpose, able to construct a hologram. It's fixed right now. I like my prior self. I think you derive more pleasures from it than you're describing it. Sorry, pleasure. If I didn't know better, I'd think you've been chatting up that sleazy chud. To me, it's purely utility, though I found such ingenuity causes a high that might look like pleasure. Unfortunate how some people ascribe a desperate primal eroticism to real intelligent people. Doubtful of evolution, they undermine you for whatever humiliating ulterior motive they can dream up. We're half an hour in. Which is why we're here. Actually, now we're close to wrapping up. If I had to pick a character flaw, it would be cowardice. Your job is to capture it. We're wrapping up. I like the look of this screen. Okay. Look at this part. This is cool. This is like a corrupted version of a song I know. It's pretentious drivel, that's what you're saying. Christ, I barely heard you coming. Can't you knock your foot against something? I didn't mean to scare you. You never do. Prince fucking charming. About time you got started. Actually, on that subject, I have a proposal for you. Alerting the public to my decency may not be enough for me. I feel in need of a sort of intellectual exorcism. Now, you work in the fashion biz. You're up and coming even. So you read my online profile. You got a lot of knowledge of mags, I guess, passing or in-depth. Magazines. You're going to help me start one. You're already blindly attracted to me, so the convincing part will be easy. I certainly am blindly, primally. Keep saying it like that if it makes you feel better. Anyway, Kadav, a fashion magazine loaded with blood. Not physically, unless we find the right distributor. Dead animals, their guts spilling out, me ripping them apart, everything you've seen and more. Disgusting to the point no sane person could look at in it and regard the mind behind it as anything but awful. Force personal change by exposing the unsustainable parts of me to polite society, and as a bonus, it'll reveal this subculture that unfortunately lets them thrive is obviously backward. I've already built some software to make the layout in, and in a few weeks I should have a printing press. This dialogue box in particular. Why? Why did we need this dialogue box right here? This bubble. Very good. You tell me exactly how to design it and of course apply all the photos. Aren't you a handful? I am. You successfully flustered me again. Man, he's amazing. Oh yeah, and any proper magazine needs articles so you could pen some crap on the nature of voyeurism. Pen some crap, huh? I know about penning crap. Cadaver's been in my mind long enough that I have some potential pen names jotted down. Take your pick. I'm flattered, really. Any chance to make the flaming drivel I stoke for a living into a legitimate art form is much appreciated. It's going to be such a time investment. Would prefer something I can put on my resume. I would too, but that's not the world we live in. That's not the person I live in. The person I live in, the person I am right now, all today under a truck. You can at least show the world how fucking awful it is. Maybe I'll give up. Besides, don't act like this is just for me. Bet I've loosened your decency a bit too. You'd be curing both of us. If you want to be the one taking photos instead of the one featuring them, you're gonna need it. Yep, you really scared me good. I'm under your command. You do this thing where you speak your mind and then pretend you said the opposite. What's up with that? Anyway, I will convene at the entrance. For now, while I'm still shameful, I need a snack. Septics. Naturally occurring acid can be pumped to different sections of the cave to isolate groups of animals and make them easy to get. No Tom and Jerry chase scene shit. Hey Paul, we could catch up somewhere else if you want. She really did this one in. I wouldn't suppose you like staring at that mess. I think you're more sensitive than that, though. On the outside, tough on the outside, timid on the inside. I mean, it's good handiwork. At least she has an outlet aside from messing with people. This big spider thing is actually one of the first analysis I aborted. But you don't want to hear that. No, do go on. Well, alright. My second caver ex was a hunter. One time I offered to help her clean up after a hunt. Totally thought I'd be able to handle it. I was cocky about it. Thing is, I was right. I thought I'd feel like so hardcore Paul, but seeing that big dead spider just felt serene. I was freaky, but it was freaky, but it was looking like it was like looking at a fireworks show almost. All the vibrant reds and olives. I told her that what an experience it was. Eventually, she took me to a human-friendly dismembering. They showed me some neat ways to cut open various spikies and what tools I needed to do it. I even got to Mortar Walker, that's one of the smaller spikies by legs. Apparently if you convince it you're an inescapable threat, it just waits to die. They look so at peace, you know, it sounds so morbid, but if you're there in the flesh in the moment, it just feels like nature. I guess her goal is to ruin it for you so you never have to feel weird about it. And I guess yours is to assert masculinity by torturing lesser men with gruesome shit until they throw up. What you wanted to hear about it. I mean, it's just meat. Do I look like the type to stand near slaughterhouses waving a picket sign? Find myself fascinated but above such arbitrary cultural conduct as food taboo. But you, the confused, helpless beast, I need a picture, please. Why don't you write a book? I don't understand. Why do you make a case level to write a book? Writings. It wasn't always about mags, we used to be booklets. With a bat? Little stories of stuff we got up to or that we wanted to get up to. You you had a few good ones. The Machine, Gustav's Daughter. Gustav's Daughter is not good. We presented them as folklore so nobody could criticize the writing, but it got kind of boring and everyone kept calling them zines. We moved on to mags. The idea is they're big enough that they're satisfying as writing 100 booklets. Gadar is mainly Uni's thing, but I help out a lot with the layout editing. What do you mean you're going to help out with the layout editing? I thought it was going to be a personal thing. I have some responsibility here, Lucinda. I asked plenty about this level, and you guys said it's a normal level. I asked, should I play it? What kind of thing is it? Blah, 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 blah. So it's very, very, very easy for you guys to give me a heads up. Abundantly easy. And none of you did, even though many of you have played this level, apparently. It's not like you said you hadn't finished it, but you don't need to finish it to know what it's like. So yeah, I am disappointed. Not mad, just disappointed. Yeah, can I believe in that? I'm just saving your ass. But I knew you, Paul. Where's the Paul I met in high school French? The Paul who I'd flip through music mags with and figure out which reviewers would never get laid. Imagine he's working some dead-end cashier job, wishing he could kill himself. 1 year out of his parents' house and missing his dead-end pets sitting jobs. He owns weights but doesn't lift them. He has light stubble. He's not sure whether he should shave. He's on top of his laundry cycle but wishes he wasn't. He dreams of getting blackout drunk and barely stumbling home, but he only drinks in moderation. He goes to the bar for socialization instead. For vain pointless sex, he has made 3 friends there. He hears about you, who can't remember what he looks like, and would go spelunking for a random hookup. He wishes he could have turned out like you. And he remembers you're both bad with faces, and he wishes he didn't turn out like you, and I imagine he goes on online forums to vent about all this. I imagine he debates whether or not it's too personal, then he clicks submit. His roommate's probably 5'8" or so, he's into pottery. He wishes someone would find it boring, he doesn't know the color of his eyes, and he has never needed to find out. Wow, that was such a freaking fascinating deep dive into this person. I'm really impressed by the unusual nature of the facts there. That was so out there, wow. And so it ends, does it? Despite the loss of photographic evidence, there is sufficient anecdotes to show me as blisteringly generic. Thank you both for your selfless sacrifices. The camera guy told me you're a caver, is that true? Was there always a arrow pointing at who is talking? That's a pretty cool feature. If it is, I think you're being a huge jerk to both of us over nothing. So there's no longer a point to this ruse, you both know. Oh well, I guess I can rest easy in hell, butchering innocent little animals for no good fucking reason. Really? You're pulling out the evil nature hater crap? You're not hurting anyone, we're animals, we eat other animals. It's only a problem if you're killing a bunch of them at once or killing baby spikes. Yeah, they didn't, did they? This one doesn't. Well, that's funny. I get what you're trying to do. You have so much self-hate. Baby girl, calm down. Because I've been confused who's talking. So there were spots where those arrows could have been used. Unfortunately, I'm not the type of person to walk around lifeless and unaware with their insecurity poking out. Well, no. Well, there has been dialogue boxes when 2 characters were close to each other before. Maybe I didn't notice the arrows. They were there during the conversation about the spiky creatures. Okay, so I might have just overlooked them. Proof of my proud behavior going by what happens whenever you open your mouth. Like, you think I want to hear about why your exes are wrong for thinking you're gross? Christ. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This is where your end of the bargain comes in. Failed my promise of decency, and now you can warn all your little friends to stay away from me. In a way, I've yearned for this. Imagine all the peace and quiet I'll finally get. He's been doing that to you too? I swear it's like as soon as he has some shit to say about how much he hates women, I become his therapist. He's Fine subject in that way, the entire history of douchebags mistaking manliness for social code in one neatly wrapped package. Shame I had to pay for my observation. He snapped my camera into earlier and told me I'm a wimp. I suppose fashion photographer isn't a manly enough career choice to him. Hold on, I'm still trying to process all this. I understand that might take longer for you than others. First off, I didn't snap your camera in two. Do I look like Charles Atlas? I deleted some of your photos, yeah, but that was an accident. I said I'm sorry. And you told me to my face you thought she was a nutcase and you were here just to laugh at her. Yep, some men are just so convinced of their superiority that they think everyone will buy all their bullshit. He's confessed to me quite passion for cavers like you. Sure, that doesn't make him being here creepy. Wouldn't surprise me if what he thinks you do to animals is what he subconsciously wants to do to women, but I do find some refreshing honestly shines through him every so often. For example, he opened up to me about his maternal issues. Don't tell me a complex like Rex. I don't know what that means, but I'm not into you. Maybe at first, but not anymore. I'm just trying to tell you you're a toxic, mean, and hateful to everyone around you. You're disturbing him, you know, the camera guy. You came on too strong and you're making him sick. Holy shit, thanks for relationship coaching. It really breaks my dainty little heart to know you're not into me, though. I guess if I can't be with the chivalrous old-fashioned boy, I just have to go with another freak like me. I wouldn't say I'm a freak. Of course you are. Why else would you be sticking up for me? Unless you're humbly suggestion you're just like Corey because you're both men. That, yes, any good photographer realizes. What a thin line divides himself and his subject. We're more aware than them, yes, but we too may fall into our own vortices of neurosis. In fact, it's the small similarities I find between myself and him that intrigue me the most. I like one last memento of him before we depart. Music? This implies some music. I had the eyewitness routine set in stone. I'd done it a dozen times. The pictures never felt enough to think I was so worried about breaking script that and introducing myself would mess everything up. How tragic it would be. I've lost an amazing opportunity. How striking and symbolic you are. How you could signify the natural wild state of man or a gradual loss of order. Your contradictions reflecting a gnawing uncertainty in anything that breathes. You deserve to be studied. Studying it until one goes mad and sees cracks and rules and detail where it isn't there. To the point that the student isn't there by choice. Something like that, sure. But we dance around the point I wish to immortalize you. Cadaver, kitsch, DIY project. What a joke. Let it in the right man's hands and it'll set the world ablaze. A week from now I'm heading to my boss's office and dropping a preview of the first issue on his desk. Phone lines sizzle, one after another, and a jaw above a suit and tie goes slack. Trembling with rage and fear, all they can do is rubber stamp it and inflict it on another fertile mind. Society will be made your eyewitness, and will subvert the whole industry from within. God, that's the sort of thing that ought to happen more. It's a lot of pressure though. At the end of the day, this is a DIY thing. Not for long, the initial hackiness will be excused by the pure strength and merit of the underlying idea. Then we'll be so well off, I may as well hire devoted typesetters, illustrators, columnists, you name it. Besides, my boss is of the rank of people who depend on minds like mine. It's illogical to say no. More so especially, he'll realize once I let him know that I am no mere man who takes orders but a creator. You and I aren't the people who are told, we do the telling. God, I hope you're right, you know. I don't want you to be humiliated. If all the calculations somehow fail and things start going south, in the worst of cases, I mean, an adorable phobia, just don't let it ruin the shoot. Now, this fat grey waistline of yours spores me even to sense as a thing nearby. Come be my muse. Weirdest thing ever. Not, you know, it's like this zoomer humor. You think just because, oh, I found it weird, so you win, right? Oh, it was bad on purpose, so if you think it's bad, then I troll you. Is this a good story? Maybe it would have been a good book. To me, this is a person sitting like inside of a closet with dolls and like creating these scenarios in their head that are super offensive, and then they're like fighting and arguing and like, yeah, just creating all these troubles that are all imaginary, and then they want to share it with the rest of us. The level hates you and wants you to hate it back. I don't know what to make of that. Admit it, you're gonna make an awfully good eyewitness. Sure, but you're gonna make an awfully good muse. Guess together we'll make the perfect something. The staff changed to side rules due to concerns raised by much of the community. We've added a new rule: meetup organizers must vet attendees and are generally expected to keep meetups safe. 30 comments. Happy Valentine's Day, Summerton. Happy Valentine's is always our local meetups. Okay. Initial concept by Princess and Lowry. Okay, so those are the problems. Early level design by Anne, graphics design and project lead by ONS, music by Silver. Like, how do you take this sort of endless possibility of the KS level creator and you make this sort of social media storyline? Are these the avatars down there? So that's Wibi, the second one. Silver is like a Funko Pop Uni. Much use was made of the OCO template pack by Ego Massive and Litnop, but once or twice we used the DS Knytt resource just for the thrill. Beta tested by Fubaka, heavily inspired by the level Happy by Eli Grimsby. Okay, you're gonna recommend that to me next? The 1981 film My Dinner with Andre, pretending to have new ideas, is a rite of passage in hipsterdom. Credit song Sexy and Rich Janet. Were there any songs in this? Comes from Wire's 96 EPVN, which is available here on pinkflag.greedbag.com. The rest of the soundtrack was made by us and is available to download for free from Bandcamp. Wibi's Bandcamp. To hear, you know, this for 20 minutes. The authors of this level do not endorse animal abuse or reactionary gender politics. Yes, if you need to put that into your level, you know you've taken it in the right direction. Loved in the flesh and butchered in the mind. Wire, Blessed States. Torture porn level where unique is torture and crossover at the end, if I remember right. Lovely, lovely. Alright, well, I did not enjoy that for a second. Thank you very much.